Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. Great to be back with you this week. We had a great weekend. Great in that, so Friday night my daughter had her 13th birthday party sleepover. We went out to a Japanese restaurant and then they stayed over, and oh my goodness, I was of course woken up through the night where they were still awake at like 2:30 in the morning, and then we had to get up early to get the kids, some of the kids off, and oh my gosh, I was zonked Saturday morning. I am not a little youngster that can lose sleep. Y'all know I love my sleep, so I'm tired anyway, so I didn't get as much. I was so tired Saturday. Was able to get out for our family pictures Saturday. I cannot wait to see those. It's going to be a couple weeks before we see those. But we kind of just took it easy for the rest of the weekend. So it was a really great weekend for us, and I hope it was for you too. Let me know what you did this weekend. That was really fun. I'd love to hear it. So yesterday I was doing a little Bible study and just wanted to share what I found. It was kind of cool, and I don't know. So I'm just going to chat it out what I learned, and we'll see what comes of it. I might just you know, chat, let you know what I found. So I felt like I was supposed to go back to Genesis 1. Genesis 1. Genesis is actually one of my favorite books in the Bible altogether. Like I could read Genesis over and over. It's so interesting to me. There's so much that happens in Genesis, and it finishes with Joseph, and oh my goodness, that's one of my favorites. So anyway, if you want an interesting book to read from the Old Testament, start with Genesis. It's amazing. But I was struck by 1:27, and it's a very familiar passage. So I'm not going to tell you anything new here, but so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female, he created them. So, of course, we know that God created us. But the phrase that kind of stuck out to me and I kind of dug into more was, so God created man in his own image. And I was thinking, like, what does that really mean from the original language? So I looked up that word. If you want to do that, I just did it on Blue Letter Bible. There is software that you can do, and of course Logos software, I think is Logos, I never know how to say that. But there's software that you can get for, it's like several $100s actually to get that one. But anyway, Blue Letter Bible is what I use because it's free and available to everybody. And anyway, so I looked up in his own image and what that meant, and there was kind of like there's two sides to this meaning. And when it says that God created man in his own image, it means it can mean a shadow, which I thought was really cool. So we are like, when he created us, we are like a shadow of God. So if you think about, like, if you're walking down the street, it's a sunny day and you're walking, and then your shadow is of course like following you. And by the way, if you've ever watched a video of a little kid finding their shadow, look that up on YouTube. It's really kind of funny. There's like this thing following me around. Anyway, so the shadow follows, and so we can get an idea of the original thing from the shadow, right? Like we can see the size, we can see the shape, we can kind of get an idea of like what it is, but there's a lot of detail missing, like a whole lot of detail missing from a shadow. But that's what we are to God, which kind of blew my mind. Like we are like God's shadow. Like we're walking shadows of God. And that just totally blew my mind. Like, and then I started thinking about, like, what are the things that are like about us that would remind us of God? Because we know some things about God, right? And I was just thinking about how all the systems in our body work together and how the Trinity works together. And I was thinking about the healing properties of our bodies and how it can heal itself. It just amazes me how you can get a scrape on your arm, on your hand, and it like fixes itself. That's amazing to me. And just how God can heal. And I was thinking about how we have language and we talk and we have senses, we can feel, we can touch, we can hear, and how God is the same way. There were so many things that I was thinking about, like just and just the intricacy of each of the systems. Like if you just look like how your eye works and how your ear works, and I don't know, it's just, to me, it was just amazing that just sitting here, that I am a shadow of God, that we are a shadow of God. The other kind of meaning for that word of in his own image is like literally they use that word when they're talking about idols. Like if you think about the Baal, the graven or crepe, what are they called? The images, basically the little idols, like wooden idols that they make of other gods. And that is just, if you think about that, like even like today you might think of a Buddha, like a little idol of Buddha. Like, so it it kind of represents the original. And it's meant to remind people of the original. And so like that is also what it means. Like just like a shadow would remind you of the original, an idol would remind you of the original. And so that's another kind of way to look at it. Like we are like little images, little idols of God, which sounds crazy to even say right now, that we're kind of like a picture of who God is. So we can know, and I think it's amazing that we can know a little bit more about God from just who we are. And I think we can know more about ourselves from who God is. And that just kind of blew my mind this weekend. I don't know, that we are shadows, images, and and I think this is what it did for me. Just by being, we give glory to God. We don't have to do anything. Just by being. I mean, just by breathing. Just by our systems working together, we give glory to God, and meaning that we show who he is. And for somebody who likes to do the checklist and, have praise for doing the things to show who God is and to give him glory, like it's very restful for me that I can just rest and say, hey, I can just be. I can just be. And just by being, I'm showing who God is. Which I'm not saying that's all we should do, but it just was amazing to me. And I can know God through just myself. Just by getting to myself, I can know God. And just from getting to know God, I can know myself. Or I don't know. It just kind of blew my mind. Isn't that crazy? We are like walking shadows of God. Crazy. And it also reminded me just that word shadow. It's like we can go into, under the shadow of his wings. And I don't know. It just reminded me of that. And, I don't know that it relates, but it just reminded me of that. So I don't know. So I think we can start off the week and want to like do and what is God calling us to do. And I absolutely believe in that. I mean, I did have a whole podcast about obeying God and doing his will, but I think sometimes that we just needed a reminder that we can rest and be, and just the amazing way that God made us. And it blows my mind too. If you think about like, if we're just a shadow and it's basically like, we're just like a black outline and there's so much more to God, of course, like it blows my mind, like who he is. I can't wait. I don't think our minds can comprehend all that God is. And I can't wait to find out what that is. So I don't know. It gives me like a kind of a holy anticipation for knowing God more and, getting to know him finally and seeing all the little details that we can't see in the shadow of who we are. There's so much more to God than who we are, but we are a shadow of that. And I don't know. That's where you don't have to do a single thing. We are worthy and worth something just because we are made in his image. We are made in his image. It's amazing. Anyway, so that's kind of some thoughts today, is just remind to be, just be, and you don't have to do, you can be, and just, I don't know, I think we can praise and worship God for who he is just because of the little tiny glimpse of that we get of him from even like our physical bodies and how we work and all of that. So anyway, that's just where my mind is this morning. Let me see if I can say good morning before I have to get off here. I saw Stephanie join and my grandma's on and Christina. Good morning, guys. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Anyway, I'm trying to think if I have anything. Oh, we're supposed to go to Asheville this weekend. So, I don't know. Looking forward to that this weekend. A little bit of weekend away. We're going to go see the Biltmore all dressed up for Christmas. So that's going to be fun. Kelly says, I never heard of the shadow definition. That's so good. Yes! I haven't either. That was so good. Go look it up. Blue Letter Bible. And then you can like look up the verse. And then you click on tools, and then it'll show you all the words, and you can look it up and see all the places that's used in scripture. So anyway, Stephanie says good morning, and Christina says good morning. Oh, Christina, you're going to Asheville Friday too. How fun! Oh my goodness. So we're going up. We're actually it's a kind of a long story, but we're going to stay in Spartanburg on Friday night, and then Saturday is when we plan, like, early, like, probably we'll get to the Biltmore probably like at 10, I would guess. And then we're coming home kind of, we're not staying the whole weekend. We're coming back Saturday afternoon. Okay, you're going to the Biltmore too. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna have to look for each other. So Christina and I are actually filming for her her vlog. She was on the podcast last Tuesday, and I'm actually going to be on her show. We're filming on Thursday. I don't know when that's going to come out. So Christina and I will see you on Thursday, and we'll have to like work out times. Maybe we can see each other. So, all right, guys, I have to go get a ponytail done. I have to go do a ponytail for Lexi, so I need to hop up here, make sure I get that done before Lexi goes to school. So you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful Monday and a good start to your week, and we will see you back tomorrow, guys. Bye.